Hi everyone, thank you for joining. My name is Naija, as an economic development student in Ahmad University. Today I'm focusing on how recent global economic trends are impacting Indonesia. I'll explore the risk of digital currencies, ongoing trade wars, and disruptions in supply chains, and how they affect a developing economy like in Indonesia. So I will share the material in this one, or it here. So as the world fourth most population nation and a key player in ASEAN, Indonesia faces unique opportunities and challenges from its youth. In this presentation, I'll share my opinion, make it with arguments and also local example and reflect on the bigger picture. So let's get started. First, my opinion in this topic is over Indonesia more opportunities for growth than they do in equality and instability for global economic change. While they bring short-term hurdles like inflation or job shift, they can drive innovation in our digital economy, diversity our exports, and maybe build resilience in this. For the instance, digital currencies could boost financial inclusion in rural areas. Trade wars might push local manufacturing, and supply chain changes could strengthen our positions in global markets. With proactive policies from the government, the shift can accelerate Indonesia's rise as a middle income powerhouse, reducing poverty and fostering inclusive growth. Now, let's dive into the argument with Indonesia's specific example and evidence. First, for digital currencies. In Indonesia, where over 60% of the population is unbanked. It is based on World Bank 2023 data. Digital assets like Bitcoin and central bank digital currencies or CBDCs could revolutionize or could developing finance. Bank Indonesia is piloting a CBDC, which could lower transactions costs and reach remote areas like Papua. For example, crypto remittance have surged, with platforms like Binance enabling Indonesians aboard the send money home, saving fees and boosting a local economy. While volatility caused 2022 crypto bear reversal, it has created jobs in fintech. Indonesia's digital economic in 2023 has grown around 20%. This democratizes finance, reducing inequality and opening growth in commerce. For the second topic, trade wars, especially US and China tension affecting commodities like palm oil and nickel, Indonesia as a top exporter faced tariffs that raised price in 2021 by 10 until 15% based on IMF reports. It's of course hurting farmers in Sumatra Island. But this spurred diversification, companies shift to India and Europe, creating jobs in processing plants. The governments making Indonesia 4.0 initiative encourage local EV battery or electrical vehicle battery production using nickel, attraction $10 billion in investment by 2023, while trade wars slowed GDP by 0.3% based on the World Bank data. They push fair trade deals like the IPEF and boosting Asian integration and long-term growth for Indonesians around $200 billion export sector. Third point, supply chain disruption from even like COVID-19 and the Ukraine war. Indonesia resilience on import semiconductor and fertilizer led to shortage, hiking costs for consumer and businesses. Example, rice prices up to 20% in 2021. However, this catalyst resilience firms like PT Astra adopted nursery, building factories in Java for automotive parts, creating 50,000 jobs. The World Economic Forum notes Indonesian supply chains could gain 12% efficiency by 2030 through automation, plus disruptions in palm oil chains, palm oil chains prompt sustainable practice, aligning with United regulation and opening great export markets. While rural workers face instability, government subsidies and digital tools reduce inequality, fostering inclusive growth. Overall, these changes aren't setback, they're springboard. With Indonesia young workforce and digital leapfrogging adapting can turn challenge into a GDP boost of 1 until 2% annually. In conclusion, global economic change like digital currencies, trade wars, and supply chain disruptions present Indonesia with significant opportunities for growth, outweighing the risk of inequality and instability. By embracing innovation and policies, we can build a stronger, more inclusive economy. So, what do you think Indonesian next step should be? Share below. Thank you for watching and happy to do brainstorming through this video. See you in the next topic. Bye.